And just feel into yourself for a moment. Letting the energy, the attention come back to yourself. Just feeling your body sitting. Feeling your breath, breathing you. Maybe you would like to take the moment to just let go of anything that is not relevant for this time. Anything that might have happened at work or during the day. Just for now, just breathe it out. Let it go. Whatever you need to do, arrange your body or move your body in a way that makes it become more naturally present. So you can really be here. And also, if you want, you can just check with yourself what brought you here today. What in this invitation or this chance of connection that you were hungry for today or that you were longing for? What are you curious about? In relation to exploring empowering topics and meeting your Zen coaching friends. So you can just, whenever you feel ready, you can just come back to the Zoom room. Okay. So I really enjoy these seminars, these webinars, also for the opportunity for connection and to keep the Zen Coaching Advanced group, to keep us going and to keep intimacy and flow throughout the year. And it would be really nice, just if you want, just to put one word in the chat of what you are experiencing right now. Just so we can all feel you. We can see what comes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there is curiosity and there's connection, there's resentment, calmness, gratitude, openness. Relaxation. Another relaxation. Another connection. Relaxed and empty. Company and guidance. Okay. Beautiful. So it's beautiful to start from here. So I would just like to start support, right, Ulrika? Great. Yeah. So I would just like to start with some inspiration that I have about this topic. And then we can explore two and two in an inquiry or a coaching situation. And then also there will be some space for a coaching in the group if there's anyone that wants that. So that's like the format for the evening. And I've been in the Zen coaching now for 9 years, I think. And for me, it's been a very interesting, this thing with goals in relation to Zen coaching. Because of in a way, it's a very, it is a very Zen approach, as we know. It's we are looking at our longings, and we are looking at how we are, what we're longing for, and it's about we're looking at strategies in relation to our longings, and what is actually a goal in Zen coaching, and how can we support people also in our profession as coaches when people are coming and having goals, because that's what's happening in my experience. There is a place for goals, and I've been a little bit struggling with finding the place for a goal, and what kind of goal that I actually want to go for, and what is an empowering goal, and what is just a strategy that I can, so in a way, overcome, if I should say it like that, and just be the longing. And it's been like a bit of a confusion, and sometimes some inner conflicts around that inside myself. I don't know. Do you, anyone of you, do you recognize this, or do you have like some kind of, there are some nods. Can I see just a hand? How many people do recognize this as some kind of topic? Okay, there are a few. Great. And I remember when I was in my previous relationship, I was struggling a lot with this. Now I'm going to be I like this. I like to be personal with you. So we were having a relationship for 8 years, and we had a period where we didn't have sex for several years. And for me, this was especially around me starting up with Zen coaching a lot when I was starting to work with this and really go into it. So then I was really exploring what is the strategy of sex. What does that actually give me? And I was really exploring that, and I was exploring that together with my partner, who was also starting to explore Zen coaching, and sort of trying to get around the fact that we didn't have sex, and that I was trying to get myself to be okay with that. And it was also very, very good, because I arrived at some places of what sex actually gave me, or would give me, like a sense of aliveness and intimacy and connection and love and joy and all these things. And then I was okay, then I can live them in other ways in my life, and I can explore that in other situations. And then the months went on, and then the years went on, and at some point it was like, no, but that's not enough. Actually, it's not enough. And then I arrived at the space when I actually said, okay, now we're actually going to finish this relationship. I don't want it like this anymore. I'm actually going to choose to have what I want in my life. Yeah. So then we split up in unison, and then I started a search to actually explore my sexuality, because that was really, really important for me. And it turned out that I had a beautiful exploration, and I'm very happy about this now in my life. It took me to a place where I'm really happy with myself and with my current relationship. Now, I found that why I'm saying this is like it was a very in my face kind of exploration, because of like I can sit and I can try to explore all this, how I can live my essence qualities in all sorts of ways and stuff. But actually there are some things that I really want in my life. Yeah, I just want them. Yeah, and I want exactly that. I want to be involved in that kind of thing, or I want to manifest this thing in my life. I want to do certain things. I want to manifest parts of myself in the world, perhaps. And part of it is, of course, is like there's essence wanting to manifest is one way we can talk about it. We can talk about it as for example, the essence of the red essence, the essence of passion. It wanted to express itself, wanted to manifest, wanted to be alive in the world, which is sex is part of that, right? Or sex is a manifestation of that. But I've also noticed that there's a lot in me that is hungry to become manifested, and it's like I can feel the urge to actually create and somehow feel the power in me to be able to create things. There's something about creation and manifestation that I am very hungry about. And I've noticed it a lot with the red essence energy. There is a creational energy in that. And since my inner conflict had to do with if I am only living in essence and I don't have to create anything, it's like some kind of misunderstanding that because that's also a very limited idea of what essence is. That essence is only sitting on my cushion and not actually, being in the world and engaging. So it's related also to the aspect of will, to the aspect of true and healthy will in oneself. The passion and the will and the willpower, it's like an essence quality. Wants to create, wants to manifest, wants to take space, be alive. And in a sense, when I'm tuning into it, it's like being in touch with the energetics behind it, being in touch with the longing that wants to come out. So if we are having a dream of something in our lives, then what is the longing behind that? What is it that we are really longing to live with that manifestation? And sometimes we don't even know. It's like sometimes it's not so clear. Sometimes it's not like trying to figure it out before we're doing it. It's like putting a stick in the way for ourselves. It's like thinking that we have to be smarter than life. Because if we have an urge to create something, then we might not actually know why we're doing that in the moment. But it might be something that our our being just wants to live and to learn from. And in my experience with this, a year ago I was watching the TV broadcast from this Swedish Vasaloppet, the ski race, which is the longest and biggest and oldest ski race in the world, 95 years old by now. And there are about 15,000 people in this race. And I was watching the race, and I'd been skiing for the whole winter, and I felt like, I was getting stronger and stronger. And then I saw the race on TV, and I was never interested in watching this. And all of a sudden, I just realized, I'm going to do this race next year. I just felt it. And 2 weeks later, there was like the opening. You can register only at a certain limited time, because in 1 hour, the tickets are sold out. 15,000 tickets are sold out. So I was like, I had to be right on the ball. And I just had to register quickly. And I did it. And it's like I didn't really understand why I did it, but I just felt the need to do it. So I registered, and then I've had a year of having a focus on that. And I would not have had any idea of why I made that kind of commitment beforehand. But it was just this amazing urge to be part of that and to learn from that. And I'm gonna show you something, because I'm sort of a little bit in love with models. And I'm going to show you a model that I've been exploring in myself throughout this journey in the Vasaloppet. And I'm going to share my screen with you. First of all, this is like the thing that I put up on Facebook today. I just like it. It's like we have this idea of the plans. I was like having the flag is like the Vasaloppet, and I'm just going to bike along, and it's going to be fine, and I'm going to do 90 kilometers, and it's not going to be a problem. But in reality, of course, as we know, when we are having our plans, we know that all sorts of things are happening on the way, which is the obstacle is the path, right? So this is actually the beauty of our journey. But this is something I wanted to show you today, and also that I would like us to look into a little bit. Because this golden circle that Simon Sinek, he's like a business consultant, is talking a lot about, and he's having a TED talk also on this topic. I found it was very, very helpful for me in sorting out along the way in my journey the different reasons or the different approaches for me to actually keep engaging in my long-term goal of finishing this. 90 kilometers is quite a long way. I don't know if any one of you have been running or skiing or something, but 90 kilometers is quite a long time. I was out for 10 hours and 43 minutes on skis for a full day. So it's like for the mind to do this, it's a little bit, why would I want to do this? So obviously here in this situation, if I take myself as an example, and you can all follow with your own, if you have something on your own that you are curious about. So the what obviously here is the Vasaloppet, is me doing this 90 kilometer race. And then I would like to skip through the how into the why and look into why would I want to do this? What is it in me that is longing for this manifestation? And this why is like basically the most important thing. It's also another way of asking us the question, what am I longing for? What am I longing for in this? This is a longing kind of question. This is like the true engine of any kind of creation. It's the why. Without the why, there is no engine, and there is not going to be any drive when we are going towards our goal and we are dipping into our big holes, because we will be doing that. If we have a really strong goal that we are reaching towards, we will meet our holes. That's for sure. That's not even a question. It's like a big enough goal will confront you with your holes. So the why for me was that I was really hungry for feeling my power and being able to overcome challenges in my life, so that I like a sense of self-trust, that I could trust myself when I came to challenges, that I would meet those challenges and I would be able to hold myself through the challenges, and I would still do it. I would like basically exploring my willpower, exploring my power, my strength, and my stamina, because I was really longing for that, because I felt like I was like giving up on things all the time when things were getting tiring or difficult. And then, of course, we're looking into the how. So how am I going to keep engaging with this longing? Because just like, okay, knowing that I want to do this and I want to overcome these challenges, but how do I do that? And then it's a question of how I keep engaging in the moment. How do I keep engaging to this why? How do I relate to my why on a daily basis? It's basically, here we can say it's like an intention. My intention is created in the how. It's like a bridge between what am I going to do and why am I going to do it. It's like my intention is to, for example, for me, it was, okay, I'm going to have a new intention every time I go into the ski track to do my training. I'm going to, for example, focus on some techniques in me skiing, some kind of technical skills. Or it could also be, I'm going to focus on only those things that are giving me energy today. If I'm going to do a long time practice, for example, if I was out for 5 hours, then I would need to, what gives me energy? I would need to have an inquiry about that, for example, when I was out. Because I noticed that my mind was telling me that, oh no, it's too hard, or no, it's too the snow is too wet, or it's too cold, or it's too much whatever, too many slopes or hills or whatever. So I was like, what works today? What is actually giving me energy? Would be like an inquiry, for example. You can also say maybe it's an action step, because an action step can be either like a practical one, but it can also be an attitude, a way to actually engage with yourself in the moment. So I'm going to stop sharing this now and come back to you guys. So I'm wondering now, as I've been sharing this, how about you? Do you have something in your life that you have like you've made into a completion? You've had a goal of some sort that you have taken to completion. It's been an empowering goal, or it's been something that was really important for you to fulfill, and you did. How many of you have had that, like quite recent, or like in your life? Yeah. What would you say is like the most important ingredients for the fulfillment of this goal? If we just can hear some popcorn sharings. keeping the vision. Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can share.
Yes.
Because for me, it's that I need to remind myself very often about my intention. When I'm very close to leave it or to just give up, then I need to remind myself every time about my intention, why I'm really doing that, why, what's the reason for that.
Yeah. Okay. So you are reminding yourself of the why, basically.
It's helping a lot.
And is there something like the why? What is it about the why that needs to be there for you to like keep engaging with it?
It's helping me to keep my course, to not sometimes I stuck also. Yeah, but obviously it's because I need to remind myself to what is my course, why I'm doing. I cannot explain. I cannot answer that question, but it's very, very important.
Yeah. So there's something very important about the thing that you want to create, and the why there is very important.
Yeah. Awareness of that.
The awareness of the why. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And Lisa, you were saying something about keeping to the vision.
Yeah, that's. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's very similar to what Anita was saying. It's, just you had this picture, you were going to do it, and then when things get difficult, you've got to come back to the picture, and see and make sure that it is still the picture that you want, So that's the other thing too, I guess, is checking up all the time that you still really that is a thing you really want, because otherwise you can get kind of dragged into a goal, that you set that isn't necessarily the goal anymore. So it's like checking in with that all the time. I think that's what's helped me.
So it's basically checking in continuously with your vision.
Yeah.
And also make sure that it's alive, that if it has changed, to also stay aligned with that change.
Yeah, that's a great way to say it, to make sure that the why is still alive. That's lovely.
Okay. Great.
I can say something.
Yeah.
For me, it's that the why is so strong that it's suffering not to actually go towards the why. Every day that I'm not fulfilling the why, every day that the why is not alive is a day of suffering, and every day where it is alive is a day of joy and celebration. It's a bit like, I suppose, being pregnant. If you don't release yourself from the pregnancy, then it becomes suffering after a while. It's a birthing process, and if you're not, if it's not birthing, then it starts to really go bad. And if it is birthing, then the energy is flowing and the life is alive, and it actually builds itself. The life creates more life, and the energy, there's a positive feedback.
Yeah. Okay.
And flow.
Yeah.
And then if there is a block to the process, there's a block to the why, then I start going into drama.
Okay, so this is interesting. So let's just start with what you started to say about the why.
Mm.
And I love that we have a common language for this. Like, this is the vision. The why is like the engine. And what you're talking about is the why needing to be so incredibly burning that living a day without it is not a day worth living, in a sense. So that for you is the energy of the why.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you said something about in the end here. Oh no, I just popped out of my head. What did you say in the end?
That it creates flow. The more that the why is realized, the more it creates a positive feedback.
Yeah. And then you said sometimes it's the.
And
the
if there is a
block,
if there's a block, then there is suffering.
Yeah.
If it can't be realized, if I'm not supported, if I don't have the funds, if people don't listen, if I'm not mirrored, if I allow myself to be distracted, then it's a physical pain. It hurts.
Right. So now what you're talking about now and what you're sharing about is basically the obstacles when they come in. Yeah. So we're having this burning vision, or burning why, burning energy, burning flame or longing. And then sometimes somewhere we can't live that fully.
Sure.
And then of course we can start to become attached to
Of course.
our longing to create.
And that's the trap.
And that is a trap, yes. And at the same time, it's also gonna get us exactly our mirror of where we are in relation to this longing and to this, because if this why is so burning for us, as you are talking about, then there's a strong longing here that is very important. So of course we will need to meet something here that is of enormous value. And this I find is very beautiful, as we are all in the Zen coaching world, and we know the beauty of meeting that. And this is how I find it very helpful to have Zen coaching, and to also know that yes, there is a goal, there is a longing for this drive and for this manifestation, and at the same time, sometimes we need to let go of our focus of that and completely be with the journey of meeting ourselves in this vulnerability, in this wound, in the sensitivity of not being able to live this, and with what that does with us as well. And then of course, like how much to be there, and how much to go back to our vision. Like Lisa, you were saying, keeping to the vision. So like this is such a beautiful balance when we are overriding our inner journey. For example, maybe this is the time we actually need to be confronted with our wounds, and have some space to be able to fall into the vulnerability of it. And this is the time to just a little bit push through it. Like, okay, now because I heard actually yesterday, because I'm having sessions with a Diamond Approach teacher, and we were exploring the relation with the false will and the true will. And sometimes the push in oneself, it is obviously false will, but it's also sometimes can give birth to the true will in oneself. So sometimes a little push can actually be just what we need to go through that. But sometimes we're also disconnecting from our truer selves, and our true journey from doing that. So that's, of course, we cannot really know when and how that is. And there came like a little chatting.
I just would like to say thank you. That was very helpful, because it helped me to notice the difference between the why as the why of the will, and the why of the false will, which comes from a reaction to the suffering and is a mind process.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
It becomes a representation of the real why rather than the why itself.
Mm.
And it doesn't lead to any, it doesn't take me out of the suffering.
Okay, great. Beautiful. So you could really see the difference between the true will from the why, the true why, and the false will.
And it's very subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, it is subtle. Kinga, you were writing, I find essential to differentiate between the why, the intention, and the what. Yes, exactly. Would you like to share something more about that?
Well, I don't have it very clear, but it's like, because I think, well, this subject about the goals and aims, and I'm a bit in a war with red essence and goals, which I've been always like it was my guidance always, passion and goals, and like die for it almost. And now it's like collapsed, and I find it like this, yeah, that it makes me like run, and yeah, I get what I want, the goal, but maybe not my intention. It's not fulfilled. This real why, which what Emil was speaking about, and this wanting something, desiring something, like this passion for me, it's confusing now. What happens if I don't get it? I'm a bit confused and lost now. Yes, and like it's a bit painful, because this passion and the goal makes me alive and strong and useful and powerful. And now I'm seeing it from the different point of view, like, but what if not? And I'm discovering that like not having a clear goal is fascinating too. Is much more like in a trip, yes, maybe, which I would have never chosen it by myself. It just happens, yes. And to follow that, it's totally new for me. And like now I'm where is my my power, yes? And what am I hiding, maybe chasing this goal? Mm-hmm. What am I losing on the way?
Yeah.
And now I'm like struggling not to have any goal and not to be so passionate, or and this is completely new for me. I don't know how to handle it well. And maybe, sorry, maybe this is the mystery and the secret is between this why and what. Yes, if I have a goal to, I don't know, I want to learn, I want to go to a course and learn, I don't know what therapy. Okay, I do it, but my intention can stay the same. Only the goal can change. Yes, the material representation of my intention. That can change. I don't mind if it's a course of relaxation or therapy or whatever, but my intention, for example, is to help people. I don't know. So I just don't want to chase something which is fake.
Yeah, I hear you, Kinga. And can I mirror what I hear?
Please,
Yeah.
Do.
So what I'm hearing is that you have in your previous life, or in the life,
previous life, yeah, you can.
I don't know your previous life, but the life previously, you have been very passionate in going for goals, and since time, you didn't say how much something has shifted, and now you're a little bit in reaction towards. One thing is towards the energy of passion, or the essence of passion, and red essence, and there's also a wish to not go for goals at the moment, and there's also some kind of wondering about it, and wondering if you're missing out on something from it. Is that true? Did I understand you?
Yes. What am I missing when I'm on my way to a goal? When I'm chasing the goal, I'm just blind. It's just like I could die for it. I don't mind anything, and I always get it, always.
And can I ask you here, when you are chasing the goal, what is the goal for you? Is it a thing? Is it an action? Is it something to be outside of you, or is it a goal that you experience within yourself?
I suppose it was outside. Yes.
Like an object or a person?
Object or a project at work to finish well, or to get something on time, or to create something. Yes, creativity is very important here, Oof. Yes, and
yeah. So basically, if we're looking at the model from the why, how, and what, it sounds like the starting place of your goals came from the outside of the what.
Yes, it can be.
So, and this I find is quite an important distinction, to see where are we starting from here. Because when we're starting to chase our goals, our what, in the outside circle, then we're not really connected to our longings or why we are doing it. We are just as you're saying, we're just running for something that we're not really sure what we're running for. There's no connection to our deeper sense of the why. There's no. It just becomes an object, something to chase. And I would guess that we are sitting here now and having turned to Zen coaching, there's some other longing than going for the outside goals. So here I would like to actually not speak so much more about it here, but more start an own investigation, 2 and 2, about this. So we can explore and start from the middle place inside. Because I think that this is also how we can burn ourselves out when we are just coming from from the outside. And I find it like it can be so incredibly healing to start to merge and to start to have these to communicate with each other, the what and the why, exactly what you wrote also in the chat, to have them start to communicate with each other rather than that they are separate from one another. So we know why are we having these goals, and what exactly is a goal on another sense. Is it something like if we look at the in my example, it's a very concrete example. It was doing a ski race. Obviously, there was some kind of action involved in this. It was an action over a very short amount of time. It was just one day. So in a way, that was my what, but it came from a very strong connection to the why. They were continuously in communication with one another. In my experience, in my example, and at the same time, also my why was continuously inspiring me back into the what, back in engaging with. Yes, I want to do this race. Yes, I really want to do this race, because I was really connected to living these qualities of the why in the moment, which is the beauty of essence, that we can live it here and now. We don't have to wait for it to be some other time. Yeah, so we are living, like, if my longing and my reason and my why for doing the Vasaloppet race was to do with self-trust, that I will show up for myself and show up with my strength and my stamina. This was happening all the time. I was living that on a continuous basis. My why was alive in the moment. And I think that's also something that what you were sharing, Emil, that when the why is so potent and so alive, that living one day without it, it's painful. It's like it's so, well, we can live it. If it's truly like a why that's like an essence informed why, then we can also live it in the moment. We don't have to wait for the what to be fulfilled. We can also continuously live it, which will become, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to speak so much more about it. Let's do an exploration, shall we? Do you want to explore? Do you have, I just want to check with you, do you have at this moment something in your life that you know that you want to like achieve, accomplish, or manifest? How many of you have this? You know you have it. Okay, great. So there is some energy around this in your lives. I would like us to do an exploration, 2 and 2s, and this you can do a little bit in your own way. I will give you like a setup, and then you can explore together if you want to adjust it in certain ways. So starting with the first person, exploring, maybe take like 5 minutes. You can take the time, 5 minutes, and explore, what are you truly longing for in your life right now? And make that into an inquiry, basically. And you can do that as a repeating inquiry. What are you truly longing for in your life right now? And it can be all sorts of essence qualities. It can also be, I want to have a car. Whatever comes, don't censor it. It might be information for you later on. So you don't have to censor yourself. Just allow yourself to whatever comes, just say it. And the second question is to explore if this longing or this essence quality, because you might also be coming to essence qualities that you are living or are becoming alive as you are sharing. If this longing or essence quality would manifest, what would it be? Or could manifest? How would it manifest? And that can be a concrete thing. It can be creating I don't know, anything. Or it can be something more vague. But just how would it like to manifest if it had the freedom to manifest? Yeah. So basically now we've been, in these two questions, we've been exploring first the why and then the what. Yeah? And the third question is, how do you want to nourish this in your life? How would you like to nourish this manifestation, this longing? So basically that's the how. And if you want to do it in a different order, or if it feels right to flow between them, ask questions if you want. If you're the coach and you are allowed by your client to ask questions, maybe you want to include questions about here and now and those kind of things. So decide with your partner before. If you're a client, then say to your partner that I would like this kind of support. I would like active listening. I would like to follow this structure, or I would like to you only to be silent. So you are designing your own session with your partner. I can write the questions. Yes. Is there any question about that so far? Okay, so I will write the questions. So these are the questions, and it's just like a general outline, and if you want to ask them a little differently, of course you will do that. So I was thinking to have, in total, you can have 1 hour including a break. So that means we can have, say for example, you have 5 minutes on the longing, or 5-6 minutes, and then you can have 5-6 minutes or a little bit more on the other ones, because I think it's very important to really give yourself time and to also flow here, and to see so you can allow yourself also to be creative, or you can meet whatever, if something else is coming up. For example, that there is fear coming up, when you actually feel that there is a longing and you would like to manifest it, and then, whoa, I don't know what to do with this. Or you can allow the process to unfold as it wants to. And then include a break. So then you can, for example, have 5 minutes each, I would say. It might be a good time. And then you can have a break and then come back again. Does that sound like a good idea? Are you okay with this? Yeah? So that means now it's 8 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock we will be back. And I will divide the people. Has everyone been in this webinar before, so you know how it works with the breakout rooms? Good. So let's see. I will. Six rooms. Okay, so it seems like I wonder if I can be with someone. It doesn't look like I can choose that. It seems like. Okay, so let me do this. If let's just let this program decide, I will assign you to a room. And if you are 3 people in the room, could one of you in the 3 group, would you like to come back to me and then we can do the exercise together? I would love to join you. Yeah? Would you like to do that? Great, thank you. So see each other back here at 9 o'clock, and then you will have had a break. And then we can have just maybe one coaching, and then we will end also. Okay? So enjoy.
I just came into the middle of Karina's coaching of Emil, and it was very interesting to just sit and listen. And then Emil coached me or asked me, and yeah, we had about the same rule. I think we want more clients, and for me, the way to get more clients is to come home to myself, so I can feel that I'm home in myself, and I can use that creativity and playfulness when I talk with people, and then they will be attracted. That's the way I get the few clients I have already. That's when I feel home. So it's just to try to get that full feeling more in my daily life.
Mm-hmm. So actually the feeling of you being at home in yourself being the attraction for new clients to come to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, and how do you want to nourish that being at home in yourself, like continuously? Did you find something about that?
Oh, we didn't really come to that, but of course it is to connect in this Zen Coaching Sangha a lot. Then it gets nourished and do things that, like dance and do things that I feel is good for me to come out and
Mm-hmm.
connect with people deeply. My family also, my kids. It's so beautiful when we get this intimate connection, which is what I want also.
Mm. So there's to come to gatherings like this is one way of supporting that sense of home.
Yeah.
But also dancing and being with your family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything that and now I'm just asking you like a continuous question, more like to support the middle ring in our circle, the how. You didn't see the symbol, but we had 3 layers of a circle with the why in the middle and the how as a middle ring, and then the what on the outside. How to nourish the how to, because the how is also like continuously giving us fuel. So if you're longing for more clients, and you see that the way to get more clients is to be more at home in yourself, then like a continuous fueling of that being at home would be like to fuel your goal continuously, and to not leave it to chance, and just like sometimes I will do something that makes me come at home, but actually you will like continuously nourish that. Do you understand what I mean? Like, because we can also leave it at chance and say, well, maybe it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But to like actively engage with doing those kind of things or coming home. Do you see it something that you could like commit to or engage with in that sense, from that level?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's a lot. It's good with this friendship group we have, and now we have created a group where we meet in real life in Uppsala, also 4 people. We started just had one meeting, and that is very helpful, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to biodanza, that is good. The same feeling.
So you have already a system that works for you.
Yeah. But not maybe daily. I can do more. Yeah, and I can coach my kids more. It happens sometimes. That is also very beautiful. I did that actually one evening. My oldest daughter, she got so scared of death that she couldn't sleep because she was so scared of death that if she wanted to do so many things in life, and maybe she will die, she said. So I can't do everything I want to do. And then I just mirrored her, and I got into this, like, how does it feel and in your body? And after a while, she just relaxed and she could sleep. And then in the morning, now I understand what this Zen coaching is. That was really great. So I want to do more of.
Yeah. Okay. So that could be something to explore, and maybe some more of you, if you would like to explore the fueling the not leave it to chance. Like sometimes it might happen that I'm home in myself, if I do, but actually, what would be a practice for me to really strengthen and nourish that part that will be the engine for me to reach what it is I'm longing for.
Yeah. And I meditate also in the morning. That is 10 minutes. That's also good.
Mm-hmm.
Together with my wife, actually. So I started myself, and then she wanted to join. And also, then I get some connection to us. And that's good.
Beautiful. Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to share what you gained from this exploration? Or how was it?
I can share. I gained a bit of confusion, or I realized I was a bit confused because I haven't thought about it this way. And I think I've been avoiding goals because I'm afraid of disappointment and attachment. So when you say this, leave it to chance, it feels like, yeah, that's where I am right now. Like not really wanting to engage because I don't feel like I don't feel the stability and the strong will. I think I'm a bit afraid of having goals, actually. So I've been avoiding them. So this was really interesting, and this fueling part.
I'm curious, did you find the longings? What you're truly longing for in your life?
Yeah. I've been exploring it a lot lately, and it's like living my own values and being truthful to myself. It's like a longing. But then I keep putting it on others. Like I really want this connection. I want to be able to be honest, and then I end up trying to get people to understand this way of relating. So then so I'm balancing and keep trying to come back to myself. But I lose myself in wanting the circumstances to change.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's also the fear of attachment and being disappointed. But Yeah.
Can I comment on that, or can I just
sure.
respond to something that comes up for me when I hear you? Basically, two things. One is like if we're really like loyal or honest with our longings, like what you were saying, you were like, you really want to live your values, then there's always going to be some kind of manifestation of that. You know, there's always going to be something that wants to be manifested from that. You know, it doesn't have to be a physical goal, but it would be like, you know, I would like to come out in a certain way with someone, or I would like to, you know, as you say, not perhaps want to change other people, but actually holding yourself in a certain way, or being with yourself in a certain way in relation to other people. There will always be some kind of outer manifestation of of any longing. So that would be my first thing. And the second thing, I don't know if that's for you, but for me, it's been very much like what you're saying, the confusion, like a confusion or some kind of very tricky line between this knowing that as soon as I want something, then it's like I'm attaching myself onto it, and then I'm becoming a little bit of a control freak somehow. I'm like, you know, wanting to control that's going to happen in a certain way, where other people are going to be in a certain way from it, and not really knowing how I can be with myself in that. Then I withdraw from the whole wanting at all. So I like, because I don't know how to deal with that I'm becoming attached to my own like wantings or longings or desires or dreams. So then I just detach from them and separate from them. And I can feel that, and I can really like feel them. It's like a dance of being with yourself in that, isn't it? And like allowing yourself to have the dreams, and at the same time also allowing yourself to let go of the dream. So it's like both. I can really feel the delicate dance in it.
Yeah, but I think the why was really good for me to separate the what and the why.
Mm-hmm.
That I sometimes lose the why.
Yeah.
In the what.
Yeah. Okay. So
as you said, to keep the connection between them, but knowing the difference.
Yes.
Yeah. At the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone
else? Can I say something?
Please.
I had a little other kind of longing, because I'm always thinking I have to have these deep, profound longings, but I explored something that I a couple of weeks jumped into. I am afraid of heights, and I saw this little notice in the paper looking for people wanting to be guinea pigs for psychology students taking care of this kind of things. And I'm starting on some sessions about this. And then I explored in this, what is it? Why am I wanting this? I'm wanting to go in the mountains without having fears, and driving on bridges without having fears. So it's obviously that. But what I found was why I long for this challenge is I get empowered with my red essence, which I love being in contact with. So it was a wow. I'm in this. and it was just marvelous to feel that that was the why, because I can live with this height fear. So, and it was so fun finding that the why was wanting to have more red essence alive.
Yeah, I can feel it when I tune into you. There's like a lot of joy in it. That finding out that, yeah.
So I'm curious about what it will, if I can control this or handle this or whatever. And when I explored this and I was with Rita, and she challenged me to, when I was in this power, go up in the mountains, and I felt the fear, and then I I got this feeling of myself being a rock, and at the same time this fear was kind of a sensitivity on the surface of the rock. So I blended the fear with the power, and it was a strange feeling.
So you blended the sensitivity and the power. So how is your relation to the fear now as the rock, or as was through this exploration?
Well, I can be both, have both frightened and solid, empowered at the same time. And it doesn't make any sense, but that's the feeling. And that I can be frightened, but it's not overwhelming me like it normally does.
So there is something else also present.
Yeah.
What is that is present also?
It's the totally grounded, solid power, more of the black power, perhaps.
The totally solid and grounded power. Are you in touch with it now?
Yes.
How does it feel in the body?
I feel solid, like all of my body is one density, or one, really, but not like a rock, because rock feels dead, but I'm alive and still totally solid.
So like a solid and some kind of aliveness at the same time.
Yeah.
It looks like it's quite comfortable to be there.
Really, really. Though I explored something very, very not so pleasant, not very, very, I don't find the word, but it's really normally very bad feeling. It's contracting and everything, so it's
Thank you. It's beautiful. One more to share from the exploration. No. Okay. Do you want to share, Ulrika? No. Okay. So how is it to explore this topic of goals? Does it what happens inside of you? What does it bring up? Like we heard for some people it was relieving and clarifying. For some, it brought up some confusion or some questions. Is it interesting to explore the goals? Is it something that yeah? What is interesting about it? What does it give you to explore this?
Well, I can say something, Anna-Lena. When I was exploring my longings, I was having one longing, and suddenly it's how to get it was turning into the goal instead of to get to the goal. The how to get to the goal turned out that was the goal to start with. So it was interesting to see that looking into the goals and why you want to do stuff really reveals other goals. That's yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like it's like starting somewhere and then a whole new world just comes out from that.
Yeah. What's really important and how to actually, because the things that you're longing, what I was longing for felt so untouchable, not makeable in some way. So yeah, it was really, really interesting. I'm going to continue this. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. And Ida, you wrote that it was energizing and joyful. What was energizing and joyful about it, if I may ask?
Well, there was so much longings coming, and what was energizing was the second question and how it would manifest, because I got this picture of like the vision, like what I really want to manifest, and that was like to really feel it is already happening, it's here. So that was energizing and joyful. To feel that what I was longing for here and now, and to see that and to have a trust in it. Yeah.
So when you explored how it manifested, actually became alive in you in the moment.
Yeah, really.
And lots of energy in it. Do you want to share what it was? To make it even more alive here?
Well, it was a whole movie, but it was a picture of myself out in the garden in the beautiful nature with a partner, and there was so much joy and ease, just playing around and just having a good time in ease and love and with humor.
So you saw a picture of it, and then there's like this lots of energy in it.
Yeah, and it was also beautiful, but because what it turned out to was also the importance of what I can practice here and now to manifest that, and that was how I can be in ease with myself in the moment, and how can I speak to my inner child so she feel loved and safe. So that was also beautiful to see.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So that was your how.
That was my how. Mm.
I find that also very, I think we are different, all of us. I'm just going to check the time. It's 5 minutes to, yeah. So I'm really enjoying also what you're saying there, Ida, about the pictures. And I'm starting to realize the power of our minds. Like I've had this idea that the mind is some sort of like, it's just random thoughts and I should not think so much. And it's like I should just be in the body and feel. But like the power of the mind is really to create reality. And when you were saying about this picture of you being in this garden and with your loved one, and it's like and it creates a world in you already now. And I strongly believe that's part of what we will create. When we just tune into that, this is going to be created. It's like it's part of our creational force as human beings. That's what I believe. I don't know, but
And that is energizing.
exactly, and that's energy in the moment.
In the moment.
Yeah. So it's not like I have to think about it and then some other time it's going to happen, but it actually happens now because I'm creating it now. Yeah. And that gives a lot of energy.
Yeah, I love that magic.
Okay, great. So
Thank
there's lots more to be explored around this topic. And actually, when I did this inquiry with myself in the forest before this webinar, I was walking and I was like asking myself these questions. I actually came to, for my what from this, what wants to be manifested. I want to keep having a determination and a drive to feel this hunger for like creation. It was like that's my why at the moment. I really want to nourish it, and my what in that became like I want to have 5 webinars as on this topic. I would really love to have with a small group to work on our dreams. So that is something I want to put out in the world from this, and I'm really looking forward to how that's going to happen. So that gives me a lot of energy also in the moment. But yes, let's just take a moment again. Just maybe you want to close your eyes. If you can, if you're in a space so that feels comfortable. And just take a few breaths in your own way. Connecting back to your own source, your own being. Just feeling the vibrations of the body. And just feel what kind of quality of being you are living at this moment. What essence, quality, or what quality of being in your way, in your words, in your sense that you are experiencing and living in this moment. No matter what we're feeling or thinking, we're always living essence. Some aspect of essence and being. And just tune into what you are living right now. And see if you want to give it space with your breath or with your presence. Feeling it manifest in your body, taking space in your body. Gently coming back as a way to end this journey together. And it would be really beautiful to just see one word from you. I would even love to hear it, but I think it's going to take too much time, unfortunately, to just see one word on the chat from what you are experiencing right now. And maybe if you want to write also what you bring with you. Yeah. Self-love, peace, opening to possibility, white essence, life is magic, joy and relaxation, grounded and energized, enthusiasm and inspiration, yellow and white essence, trust, ease and self-love. Is that everyone? Tranquility, space and white essence. Okay. And for me, I also sit in grounded trust and gratitude. So thank you so much for tonight. And I'm really longing for to see you in April. Is it in April? Is it May? May. Yeah. So it's going to be the next time I'm seeing you, probably. So enjoy and wish you a beautiful night, beautiful week, beautiful time until we meet. You can turn your sound on if you want to say goodbye.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See
Bye,
you guys.
bye, everybody.
Good night. Thank
Thanks
you.
to everybody.
Bye bye.
Hey,
Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.